Okay, so it came up in a couple conversations actually. There are some things that we feel really uncomfortable doing, or we make every excuse for, or we just don't prioritize because we don't see the extreme importance of it in building habits, in building momentum, in building awareness for our actions, our thoughts. But something I have been saying over and over again is that when you are building a brick wall or a pyramid or a big empire, you don't focus on the end result. You focus on laying each brick 100% effort, making each brick count, laying it with perfection. Well, not perfection, but laying it with just 100% focus. Because if you're too busy focusing on what will come in the next few weeks, you're taking focus away from laying that brick in the best possible position, then cementing on top of it and around it and just going from there. You're taking the focus away from that. And if you think about it, the stronger the base, the stronger each brick lies, the bigger the pyramid can be, the stronger, the more sturdier. So focus on each day, focus on each action. Because, hey, I'm human too. I have my struggles, I have my fears, and I battled with food issues for ages and habits around nibbling, because I was always a nibbler, being someone that's always been studious, studying from home, working from home, around the kitchen, being around the kitchen. It was really hard for me to finally start taking photos consistently, to own up to my actions and to stop playing victim. And that's because, being someone who nibbles, I found it hard to ever do a full day of eating, because a full day of eating consisted of food that just looked like dog shit, because I would eat so consistently throughout the day that my food never really looked like food. And it was just pieces of random shit just put together, or I'd make a massive meal and then like chop it into 3 different portions, and I just never really felt in control of myself. And then when I signed up to my latest coaches over a year ago, I really, I don't know whether they cared or whether they were as invested in seeing my photos as I was, but I acted like they cared. And I don't care if I annoyed the shit out of them, because I needed to do it. I took photos of everything for a whole week, and then I just took photos of food that I liked the most and kept it consistent for a while. And then I realized that I was so capable of just doing it, and how powerful that silly little action step that seemed so stupidly simple is what kickstarted the freedom that I feel now through discipline. But I wouldn't have done it without my whiteboard. My whiteboard, I set the times that I need to eat, and I wasn't allowed to eat earlier than that time to stop me from nibbling. I gave myself a window of 20, max 30 minutes before, and however much longer afterwards if I didn't get to eat by that time, because I would rather eat way after that time than way before that time. And it helped me so much. And it seems like I never enjoyed it. I just didn't, because I felt like, oh, I'm so good at this, but if I show everybody what I'm doing now and then I slip up, I've just let myself down, and I just showed how much of a failure I am. And then I realized how negative that was in the way that I was talking to myself, and how it was like me expecting the other shoe to drop, me just expecting failure instead of doing everything I can to just focus on that day, and realize that it's okay to make a little error as long as I pick myself up again and just keep at it. And in being accountable through my photos, and not having that all or nothing mindset, not waiting for the other shoe to drop or expecting myself to fail, and just focus on why this is so important for me, and to just keep trying my best to be strict with it, because I knew that once I have a grip over my food and over myself and over this accountability, I'm allowing myself more flexibility in the long term, because I know that I am the one that's in control, and I've had control over my food for so long, and I can easily bring myself back into line again, because I've been doing it for however long now, because I remain consistent with sticking to what I told myself I was going to do, even though I never enjoyed it in the first place.